Now, the story that we were talking about before, Moshav or Modi'in, there was some question whether the Sochnut or Poalei Agudat Yisrael would actually allow Shlomo's Hasidim to settle in the Moshav. And then you had an important role here in what happened, and you were mentioning Rabbi Eliyahu KiTov.
Every Moshav was under, by Israeli tradition, under the auspices of some group. And as it turned out, by Hashgacha Pratis, that Modi'in was under the auspices of Polei Aguda. And the Amshinov was very close to Polei Aguda, as I was saying, through Avram Mikatovsky, who was Eliyahu KiTov's, was his pen name. So the Book of Our Heritage and all those beautiful holy books was a very close chassid. And they were raised together in Amshinov. It was a real Amshinov chassid. So the Amshinov Rebbe spoke to them and said, he vouched for them and said they should, and so with the Amshinov's backing, Polei Aguda gave us the opportunity to receive the community. So we were given it in 1976, a small group of only not even 10 families. There was 9 families and
you were one of the founding families of the Moshav. In the first couple of years that you were living there, you were probably the only one who had a car or something, or who had a profession.
We lived there 1 year. I was a doctor, and it basically, in a sense, was hard for me to be there. I did go in a tiny bit to the hospital in Rehovot to run the pediatric ward at night, 1 night a week. But basically, I was busy helping set up the Moshav. But after a year, I went back to Jerusalem. But I dedicated that year to getting the Moshav established.
Tell me when to begin.
Okay, off you go.
So, Rabbi Dr. Joshua Ritchie, if we can sum up the importance of Reb Shlomo, his legacy, his message to us, to the world, here on the day of his Yahrtzeit, what message would you like to share with us? I know there are many messages over the almost 30 years that you were close to him.
Well, we just had a beautiful Shabbaton in the old city.
This past Shabbat, for the Yahrtzeit.
Yeah, just this Shabbos, just yesterday. It was very, very beautiful. And so I spoke Friday night, and I was inspired to speak well, I think, because some beautiful people spoke before me, like Yehuda Katz, who spoke very eloquently and beautifully and introduced me. Shlomo, the essence of Shlomo's message was very clear, and the message was not just in words, it was much more in his action, his behavior. His message really was how much he loved. He loved God, he loved Israel, he loved every Jew. And his love for people was not because he said he loved them, it was because he loved them.
He really loved them.
It poured out of his heart, his soul, his eyes, his songs, his teachings, his everything. And the essence of Shlomo was that whenever he was with you, you felt loved. And you felt that respected, appreciated, acknowledged, known. It was when you were at a teaching, you knew he was teaching you. When you were listening to his songs, you knew he was singing to your soul.
Especially to you.
Because he was pouring his heart out with love to you. And everybody felt it. Everybody felt it. And that was so uplifting and so healing and transformative. We saw people transformed, and literally we used to call it the beauty treatment, the healing treatment. There were people who were sick became well. There were people who were ugly.
They became beautiful.
They became beautiful.
Just as a result of Reb Shlomo.
You could see it in front of your eyes if you had
transformation.
You'd see a lady sitting in the row, angry, bitter, ugly. And then an hour later, you'd look over. She wasn't that angry, ugly, bitter person anymore. She was beaming beautiful love. She was beautiful. She was beautified. It was, there's no makeup that'll do that.
Wow.
The only thing that'll do that is love. She felt loved.
Wow.
She knew somebody loved her. And that there was love in this world being channeled. This is divine love coming. He was just a channel for God's love. And that somebody could radiate so much of God's love and transmit it to where you felt it. It's transformative. And when the quality of the atmosphere, you felt so connected to everybody around you that it was unbelievable connection to people. And without that Shlomo atmosphere couldn't have happened. You know, you'd meet them and I'd start saying, well, who are you? You know, oh, what do you do? Oh, you know, and I'd look, how much money does he make? You know, I mean, and we'd be judging people by the external. When you were Shlomo, you'd learn from him to see the essence of a person and get to know what their neshama was, what they were aspiring to be, what they could be. And Shlomo had those eyes to see what somebody could be, and that helps bring it out. And when you begin to look at people the way Shlomo looked at people, with love and appreciation, and you're looking to see their potential rather than just what they're manifesting at the moment, so then you have something different. And that's what you ask what I'm teaching now. I'm teaching coaching and counseling, and how do you heal people in that way.
We have an entire institute. We're training
we train people now,
coaches.
Refu Institute. We train people to be coaches and counselors. And the whole message is, if you relate to people with compassion, with empathy, with understanding and respect, and you get to value them and treasure them as their potential, and you care for them genuinely, if you love them, but you love them because you see their potential, what God gave them in potential to be, you can help bring that out. And you can communicate to them that you do respect them and you do love them, and that you do have an appreciation for who and what they are and what they can be. That makes it possible. It's the same with little children. If you're raising children, you know that. If you raise a child with love, he grows up to his potential. If you raise him with criticism, he'll never, it can inhibit his growth to being what he could be.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Dr. Joshua Ritchie.
Thank you, and thank you for
we have
the great work that you've done of bringing this message.
I'm just a channel, you know.
That's right.